This will be the longest time we've ever had between the release of a Smash game. Even though we've had DLC, which has made Ultimate feel like it's been around much longer than it has, I really would not be surprised if we did get an entirely new DLC pass to continue Ultimate's lifespan into the Switch 2, though I really hope that would not be the case. For example, when Nintendo was making Brawl, it would have been a Melee port if not for Sakurai stepping in and saying, no, we're making a completely new Smash game. Now with Ultimate, it's basically just assets upgraded since the Wii U. But would they continue to do that going into the Switch 2? That is the question. Would Sakurai step in this time and say, no, we're making a new Smash, or would he just go ahead and let an Ultimate Deluxe be made, or just a continuation DLC pass with more characters and stages and such? Now, of course, this wouldn't be the first time he'd have his hands tied behind his back and forced to make a decision like that, but letting Nintendo do something like that just sounds very unlike Sakurai. Just porting over Ultimate or making a deluxe Ultimate or just throwing a bunch of DLCs at it again isn't something he would want to do. I don't think so. That is, of course, if he still has control over it. Is he actually done? Right? That's another question. Is he finished? For real this time? Well, if he is retiring from Smash, well then I can definitely see Nintendo taking advantage of the moment and continuing Ultimate or making a deluxe Ultimate. It's not too far-fetched of them, especially in this current state of Nintendo's push with the Switch 2. Now, this channel is by no means anything regarding leaks. We don't discuss leaks here, but I feel like if he was working on it, it would have been something he'd been working on already since Air Riders, because that's how he is. He starts on a project, usually Smash, while he's finishing up or wrapping up a previous game. But I want to steer the conversation away from that topic and more towards what if he is done with directing Smash, and what if Nintendo isn't going to just make a deluxe Ultimate or a new DLC for Ultimate? I personally would love to see a completely new idea that is solely focused on Nintendo fighters. You know, what Smash was originally supposed to be, a Nintendo culmination, with these characters' worlds colliding and what that means and how they would fight each other in that scenario. I kind of want to go back to that and away from video game history celebration, because that's what Smash turned into, and that's all fine and dandy and super cool, but I'm kind of tired of that. And I'm a Nintendo guy, so I much rather see like Bob-omb and Goomba, and I'm sure it'd be difficult to get those big IPs to license their characters out to Nintendo again, like Sora. So all the more reasons to just make a fresh Nintendo IP game where they're all just fighting each other's, and maybe the game could be a little more lore centric and maybe do a little more justice to those worlds, like the Mushroom Kingdom and Hyrule. Like, I want to see character interactions, like if Link is fighting Ganondorf, well, how would that look like as opposed to Link fighting Bowser? I want to see how those interactions would differ. And while you're at it, fix the movesets. You know, this doesn't have to be a Smash game. They don't have to feel like Smash characters. Give them their proper movesets. Essentially, go back to the drawing board when you first came up with the idea of Smash Bros, but except now go at it with all the money and assets and power that Nintendo has now. But yeah, all that to say, it has been a very long time since we got Ultimate, and it's been one of the longest waiting times we've ever had. Again, it does raise some questions. Is Smash over? Are we finally moving on? Again, I'm not getting into leaks. I'm just genuinely curious as a fan what is possibly on the horizon if Sakurai does step down. But if he doesn't, well, then I'd imagine we'd get a new Smash. It wouldn't be the first time we all thought he was done, and he wasn't. So Smash, at the end of the day, is his baby, and I feel like if his hands are tied, he would want to see Smash become the best game it could be, and that's just based on history. That's just how he is. So I would expect he would want to make a completely new Smash in some way.